Good afternoon, I'm Malcolm Jordan and this is your midday news fix for Wednesday the 13th of November. The hikoi from Cape Reinga to Parliament has been crossing Auckland's Harbour Bridge this morning and descending into the city. Traffic is backed up with 2 lanes closed for the marchers. The thousands of flag-bearing marchers protesting the Treaty Principles Bill are joining up with supporters on Curran Street at Westhaven. Lachlan Rennie is there.
Now being greeted as a haka as they make their way through. And on the bridge, I've heard some people are stumbling on the way down because of the bridge swaying. And looking back, the whole bridge is covered in a sea of red, black and white.
The protesters are heading towards Okahu Bay. Nationals defending letting ACT Treaty Principles Bill continue to first reading. Minister Mark Mitchell says the bill was a hard concession that Chris Luxon had to make to form the government.
He had a very difficult job that he had to take on in terms of negotiating with 2 other parties, and there were bottom lines around those.
Labour's Ginny Anderson says it'll ultimately go nowhere.
That's the racial division, the huge upheaval that's causing is just a political power deal. That's what Kiwis have a tough time.
Christchurch police are seeking help from the public after 2 children were allegedly told to get into a car in Kashmir. Blake Benny reports.
The kids were walking down Bowenvale Avenue around 4 p.m. yesterday when a passing car turned around and stopped near them. 2 people inside told them to get in, forcing the children to run to a nearby house for help. The car, described as a black hatchback, was last spotted heading towards Centaurus Road.
The jury at the trial of Yanfei Bao's killer accused have been asked to check their availability into December. Tingzoon Chow is accused of murdering the Christchurch real estate agent in July last year, her body remaining undiscovered for more than a year. He's running his own defence, his questions often ruled not permissible and repetitive. Justice Preston shared her thoughts with the jury this morning.
I am concerned that there is a real risk the trial will run longer than 6 weeks.
Justice Preston says a 7th week is possible. Falling interest rates and rising unemployment are likely to shape the housing market in the year ahead. Latest data from CoreLogic shows buyers currently have the upper hand over sellers thanks to higher listing volumes and falling house prices. Falling interest rates and improving economic conditions could shift the balance next year. But CoreLogic chief property economist Kelvin Davidson says there will also be more people out of a job.
Lower interest rates sort of coming through and it might end the downturn in the housing market, but with those challenges from the labour market, it may not necessarily give way to a sudden upturn either.
Parliament's Justice Select Committee is recommending the government overhauls Election Day advertising restrictions. Political advertising and content is currently prohibited on voting day, but political editor Jason Walls says that rule could soon be scrapped. To sport, an illness scare for France's Antoine Dupont ahead of Sunday's rugby test against the All Blacks. The halfback missed training overnight in Paris after falling sick on Armistice Day. Niels Wittek has left as a Formula One race director. In a rare mid-season move, he will be replaced for the next race in Las Vegas by Hui March, who has occupied a similar role for Formulas 2 and 3. And Alex de Minaur's ATP tennis finals debut in Turin has all but ended with a match to play after being beaten in straight sets by Daniil Medvedev. I'm Malcolm Jordan. That's your latest news fix. We'll be back with the next update at 5 p.m. from the Newstalk ZB newsroom.